Welcome back to From A to B with your host, Alex Beck. So happy to be here with you all this week. I thought that wow, we're like moving around a lot. I thought today's topic, we could do something a little bit different from dating. It still has to do with relationships in your life, but I wanted today's topic to be about friends, and especially having friends in like your later 20s, like 25 to 30 range, because I'm 27 and I've most definitely realized there comes a shift in your life when you're in your mid 20s and you realize the people that you want to surround yourself with, or you look at your friends and you're like, wow, things have shifted with some people in my life, or, you know, and I have just come to a place where I love my friends. Like, I really have great people in my life in this moment in time. And I feel like it's definitely a testament or like a reflection of where I'm at in my life now. Like, I'm very real, I'm very honest, I'm very career goal oriented. I take care of myself. And I feel like I definitely have people in my life that are most definitely in their own spots, but like we definitely are aligned in those aspects, and we all have good hearts and we care about each other, and we love to go out and have a laugh and go do active things and go chill. Like, I feel like I just have friends now that I can just do anything with, and it feels very easy. And it's like a really great spot to be in, because there have been points in my life where friendships haven't always been easy. So I just like wanna talk about that today, cuz it's on my mind. And let's like start at the beginning. I don't know. I feel like having friends when it comes to school, like back in those days, like let's talk high school or even college, it's like you're friends with those people because of proximity. And like that's really what it comes down to. And then life goes on. Maybe you guys move to different cities, and maybe communication isn't exactly the same. Like, distance is really hard when it comes to friendships, you know? We've all got our separate lives. I've definitely got some friends that live in other places, and it's hard to like keep up those kinds of relationships like long distance, because there has to be effort put in to like make it work. You have to check in, you have to text. I actually was talking about this with a friend at dinner the other night. It's hard. It's like both parties really have to want this relationship to flourish and happen. And if one person really doesn't put in the effort, then like it just doesn't work. And that's okay. Sometimes in life, friendships fade and you can come back together at some point, but others don't. And that's okay. I feel like sometimes you grow in different directions, and distance is also a part of it. And that's totally fine. And I've realized that with some of my relationships, that we only really work when we're together physically, but the phone aspect kind of makes it hard to make it work. It's like if I'm not seeing you every week, like to go get a coffee or go work out together, or go out, it's hard. Like, we all have our own lives. We all have stuff going on and like things we want to put our energy into and focus into, and it's hard to remember sometimes for some people, well, not me, but to like make the call or text to check in. And I've definitely faded away from people in my life thinking that we would be able to you know, not feed into that stereotype of like, oh, someone moves away and it doesn't work. But sometimes that's just the case, and that's just life. Some people just fade away from each other, and that's totally fine. And I feel like for the longest time, like, this is very vulnerable, but for the longest time I was so mad and like sad about it, because I was like, I'm putting in the effort, why am I not seeing anything from the other end? Like, it's so frustrating. Like, I thought they cared about me as well. But sometimes that also brings out people's true colors, and you realize like that relationship isn't meant to be in your life anymore. And that's totally okay, because that's just what life is about. You're growing, you're changing, you're evolving, and people come and go. And that's just how it goes. You aligned with each other in that moment in time, and now you're both into new chapters of your life. And that's it. That's just how life goes. And I think that's totally okay. But the other end is when you find your people it's the most magical thing. And I feel like you're constantly finding your people because we're constantly changing as humans, like our goals in life, what we find important in that moment in time. Um Listening to our gut and our hearts. Like when we're younger, I feel like we sometimes stray away from that. And I would say like mid to late 20s is kind of like when you really clock in, your frontal lobe has developed, you know, you realize what's important in your life, the kind of stuff you're not going to put up with, and you move on. And yeah, I would say that I'm in a really good spot right now. And my friends most definitely are in good spots as well. And it's just like I have relationships in my life now that like everything is so easy. Like I'll go on TikTok live sometimes and I'll just do like a yap session. I'll just want to talk on there. And people, I feel like it comes up every yap session. People are like, "What's the tea in your life? Like, what's the drama?" And I'm like, I have none because I surround myself with people that I absolutely adore and like we're just on the same page of no BS. Like we're just real and we show up for each other and we just have fun and like we're honest with one another. Like don't get me wrong, but it's like we're always coming from a place like we want to better each other and just like be true friends. Like in a way it feels more like family than it does feel like friends. It feels like real relationships because I feel like sometimes friendships in the past, at least for me, have felt like not as real or not transactional because that's not the right word, but like I've had friendships in the past where it just felt like it was going to last X amount of months and I knew we were going to go our separate ways in a way. Like I just felt it. And that's just how it goes. Some relationships, they just tend to be that way. Like they're only supposed to be in your life for so long and then you guys go your separate ways and that's totally cool. Like I look back at some friends I have and like they're obviously in my life now, not they're obviously not in my life anymore because we're in like such different places. Like there was a point in time like 4 years ago or something where I really realized like I want to do the music thing. Like I am going to put all my effort, all this work into like music. Like I really want it to be my life. Cause there was a point in time where I was like, yeah, I do music, but like I was barely going into the studio. I was barely putting the effort in. And let's just say that the people around me were kind of in that same boat. And I think I just had a switch where I was like, I want to make this happen for myself. Like I want to put in all the work because I want to see it happen. Like I know that's the only way it's going to work, anyways. And I've realized that with time, I want people around me that inspire me because your friends and the people you surround yourself with is what you turn into, you guys. You obviously probably already know that, but that is like seriously the truth. Like the people you surround yourself with is what you turn into. And the people at that time in my life were not inspiring me. They were doing the opposite. I was like, I don't feel aligned with these people at all. So I took a step back and I was like, you know what? I need to figure out my life. I need to figure out my stuff and start aligning with my goals and where I want to go because I'm not going to get anywhere if I just keep doing this pattern in this cycle, you know? So I got out and I was alone, a lone wolf for like a really long time, like 2.5 years, something like that. Like I was just on my own path, focusing on myself, low key kind of depressed, but it was for the better to distance myself from those people because I knew I wasn't going to get to where I wanted to go if they were around. And I know that's like really harsh, but it's the truth. And I have to say, I'm so happy I made that decision for myself because I see the goals where I want to go. And like I'm I know that this is, as Miley Cyrus said, life is a climb, you know? Like it's all about the journey and I know where I'm going to get to go and I'm going to get there, but it takes time with all the numbers and the followers of it all, but that's a whole other tangent. But yeah, it's like I wouldn't be where I am right now, I think, if I still had been surrounded by those people. And that's like a crazy realization, but it's true. It's true. I feel like that alone time of me figuring out what's important to me, putting in the energy to myself. Like I started eating healthy, and I started taking care of myself, doing manifestations and journaling, and I really found myself. I was reading, and I was watching podcasts, and I started to work out every week. Like I wasn't doing any of that, okay? I was like on the opposite end. I would just go out, drink, whatever, like like I just put in my energy into the wrong things in life, and those people were into those things, and then I realized this is not going to get me where I need to go. So, we got to head out. And that's totally cool. I had to go through that to realize what's actually important in this life and what's going to make me feel fulfilled and feel good about myself, and I'm putting my best foot forward, and I'm just like putting my energy towards my goals and realizing what's important in life, and those things weren't important to me. Clearly I was like, you know what, let's pack it up, let's move on, let's work towards the things that are going to make me happy and bring light and connection to this world, and going to bring people together and bring love to this world. Like I just felt like I was operating out of a place that I wasn't proud of. So I made the shift, and I'm so happy that I did. I have to say that outgrowing people, you shouldn't look at it as a bad thing. Like, appreciate the moment for what it was with those people. You had to get through that version of yourself to end up where you are now. And I think that's the beauty of life. It's like, I had to meet those people to like realize what was important to me. And the same for you. Like, don't be mad at yourself. Or I feel like as humans, we think of this thing of like, what a waste of time. But it's like you have to go through each chapter to get where you need to go. Like God put those people in your life for a reason, for you to realize like, oh, wait a second. I don't know where I heard this, but it was like God puts people in your life either as like a lesson or a blessing. And I've definitely had my fair share of lessons, but like I'm not complaining. I needed to go through that in order to get where I am now. And I'm so grateful that that's my path. I've just realized that the people that I've recently kind of grown distance from, that live in other places, is just like everything happens for a reason. Like maybe we'll come back together at another point in life, but right now we're just not aligning. And that's totally fine. Like I'm doing just fine. Like I was definitely sad for a moment in time, but then I was talking to my parents about it, and they're like, Alex, like, you just need to realize that this all is happening for a reason, and like they can't be your friend right now, and that's okay. Life goes on. You got yourself, you've got great people in your life. Stop focusing on the things you don't have and focus on the amazing things that you do. And I really need to pay attention to that quote, because it's so true. I feel like we need to just put our energy into things that are putting their energy into us. And we all need to come from love. Let's talk about quantity versus quality when it comes to friends. I feel like in your mid to late 20s, you kind of realize that quantity doesn't matter anymore. It's more about quality. I felt like before I was like, oh, I want to have this big friend group and all this stuff. And now I'm just like, I'd rather have 3 great best friends than be in a room of like 15 people that barely know me, barely care about me. You know what I mean? Like, that is not important to me anymore. I want people that like root for me and I root for them, and we're on each other's teams and we're each other's cheerleaders, and we care about each other, and we actually care to check in and text and be like, how are you doing after this thing? Or how are you feeling? What's up? I'm here for you. Let's go out. Let's cheer you up. Like, those kinds of friends are the ones that truly matter, not the ones that are like wishy-washy and there for when you benefit them and then they're off to the next. Like, you don't need those kinds of people in your life. I promise you. All they do is bring the energy you don't need. All right, let's get into rapid fire. Group hangout or one-on-one? They both hit. Can I say both? But I love a one-on-one because I feel like you always end up having deep conversations. Friends who give advice or friends who just listen. Friends who give advice. My best friend and I were like sitting on my bed the other night, and she was like giving me advice about friends, and I was like sitting there. I just felt like I was like a third party sitting like outside of my body, and I was just like, damn, like I'm so lucky I have her in my life to give me this advice. Because sometimes your friends give you the advice you don't want to hear, but it's the advice that you truly need. And I feel like that's what she gave me the other night, and I'm just like so grateful for her. So love you, bestie. Low maintenance friendships or high effort? Low maintenance. I feel like I have friends right now in my life where it's like we're all so busy with like our careers and everything, and it's like we'll obviously remember to text each other, but like there's no drama in us getting back to one another. It's like we all know we got our lives going on, but like we will make time for each other, and I think those are the best kinds of relationships. Do you believe friendships can come back after distance? Most definitely. I feel like it's just about putting effort from both ends. But yes, it can. I feel like proximity is. I was watching like some Mel Robbins thing, and she was talking about relationships. Like proximity is really important. Yeah, I think you most definitely can come back together. Outgrowing people or being outgrown, which is harder. I would say the being outgrown is most definitely harder. Like when people leave your life for no reason. This could even be like about boys, but let's not. We're just talking about friends today. Um, I would say the one being left behind is definitely harder for them because they kind of are just like, whoa. Because sometimes you don't give an explanation and you're just like, I'm heading out, and I've definitely done that for sure. I feel like we all have. That's just human nature. But yeah, and then I guess for the person that actually leaves, the one that is outgrowing the people, it's hard for them too because it's like you're saying goodbye to a part of your life that you lived, but you're like, all right, I'm on to the next. But that's just what life is about. I would say that I'm really glad that I did this episode because I feel like connection with people your age, friends, whatever, is like something we all crave, especially in these times, you know? Like I feel like we're all constantly scrolling, and like an aspect of us getting connection is like seeing these strangers on our phones, but it's like, yes, that's fantastic, but there's nothing like actually having like a true friend that you see in person and like you connect. And so important to prioritize like real relationships in your life, and the ones that nurture you and care about you and give you love, and it's like reciprocated both ways. I feel like it's so important to have those kinds of relationships in your life and like put energy towards them. Like not everything is about yourself, you know? Like showing up for the people that truly care is something so special and beautiful. And also, PSA, just like don't be sad that like your circle is shrinking. I feel like as you grow older, you realize people's intentions in life, and you realize in your gut like who truly cares about you and who aligns with your life. And sometimes you just need to let people go even though it hurts, and just look at it as the universe protecting you from things that aren't meant for you anymore. You want people in your life that stay and they like see you clearly and they want to grow with you, okay? So just remember that. All right. So, my obsession of the week is the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. I know that's like a really depressing album, but like I sang it on TikTok Live like 2 days ago, and I've just like rediscovered this album. And I have to say, like, rediscovering albums is like one of the most magical things ever. So, go stream. Like, so many bops on that album. Like, it's unbelievable. But yeah, that's my obsession of the week. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram and subscribe to this channel. And I love you. And I'll see you soon.